Stay tuned. Coming up, we explore our basic human desire to be liked and respected. Not only do we want to be liked, but we also have a strong internal drive to avoid embarrassment. These traits of human behavior can result in peer pressure that can in turn impact your situational awareness. Hello and welcome to the Situational Awareness Matters Show, episode 356. I am your host, Rich Gassaway. The purpose of this show is to improve situational awareness and decision making for individuals and teams who work in high risk, high consequence, time compressed environments with changing conditions. The SA Matters mission is simple. We want to help you see the bad things coming in time to prevent bad outcomes. Today's feature segment is sponsored by Gassaway Virtual Training. There are 33 online training programs for you to choose from. Some of the programs are live events presented virtually with interaction and Q&A, and some of the programs are pre-recorded. To learn more, visit samatters.com website and click on the Virtual Training tab. Okay, let's jump into our feature segment as we explore our basic human desire to be liked and respected. Not only do we want to be liked, but we also have a strong internal drive to avoid embarrassment. These traits of human behavior can result in peer pressure that can in turn impact situational awareness. The social interaction between coworkers may not be on your mind as you think about first responder situational awareness. But the fact is that we are all influenced by our relationships with others. We have an inherent internal drive to be well liked and to be respected. We also have a very strong internal drive to avoid embarrassing situations. These traits of human behavior can, in turn, impact your situational awareness. First responders spend a lot of time together on calls, in the station, on training, and in many cases in social settings outside of the fire department. All of this interaction builds relationships that allow responders to trust their lives to each other. But can it go too far? Trust is important, but blind trust can be dangerous. Blind trust occurs when one person places unwavering trust in another, never questioning the judgment or decision making of the trusted person. The formation of situational awareness is a result of capturing clues and cues in your environment. This is followed by processing those clues and cues into a coherent understanding of what is happening in the current moment. This in turn is followed by making accurate predictions of future events. It is essential that everyone operating at emergency scenes develop and maintain individual situational awareness based on the process outlined above of perception, understanding, and prediction. If a responder has blind trust in a coworker or a supervisor, that responder may not develop or maintain personal situational awareness because it may be believed by that coworker that the supervisor or another worker is better trained and more experienced, and therefore will be looking out for that responder's well-being. In other words, the responder blindly trusts and thus follows the coworker or supervisor's lead. The responder's situational awareness will be poor because the process of forming and maintaining personal situational awareness has been relegated to someone else. A well-respected coworker or supervisor may also influence the situational awareness and decision-making of peers and subordinates. When a well-respected coworker or supervisor makes a decision and gives an order, others may fall in line and comply even if they see things that indicate the decision may be faulty or excessively risky. I remember falling victim to peer pressure when I was a newer firefighter. I lacked the training of many of my peers, and I certainly lacked the confidence to speak up. Reflecting back on my career, I can recall numerous occasions where I did whatever I was told because I wanted to be liked and I wanted to fit in. I surely didn't want to be the wimp who stepped up and voiced concerns about my personal safety. Reflecting back, I now see several human behavioral traits that were in play for me. First, I had blind trust in my officers. I truly felt that they were well trained and they would look out for my well-being. Second, I was influenced by peer pressure. I didn't want to risk embarrassing myself by speaking up. I might be wrong, and my officer isn't going to like me if I question their authority. My peers aren't going to like it if I suggest we take a more conservative approach at an incident. There may simply be too much at risk, so I went along with others. Reflecting back, it's ironic. I felt the risk of straining a relationship was more important than the risk to my own life. In other words, I was willing to die to avoid ridicule or embarrassment. In that mindset, I had poorly developed personal situational awareness. My attention wasn't focused on the emergency. My attention was focused on following the lead of my peers and doing whatever they did in a high-risk game of follow the leader. My situational awareness was based on the behavior of my peers and the observations of my officer. If my officer said go, I went. And reflecting back, he seemed to say go all the time. In straining my memory, I recall only one time we did not go inside a burning structure, and that was because the structure had collapsed prior to our arrival. I wonder how often responders find themselves entering situations that they feel they should not be in based on peer pressure. In my book, On Fire About Leadership, I wrote a chapter about peer pressure and how it can increase risk-taking. I based it on my own personal experiences as a 30-plus year first responder. I truly believe there are responders who will take excessive risk to avoid ridicule and embarrassment. Why do I believe this? Because I did it. And I've had many others tell me that they found themselves in peer-pressured situations and survived only by luck. They went in to avoid the risk of ridicule and embarrassment. They blindly followed others into untenable situations. I would recommend having a discussion among peers in advance of being put into such a situation. Discuss how to stand up to the peer group and how to avoid embarrassment. It seems incomprehensible that someone would risk dying over risking embarrassment. But it happens. If no one speaks up, even though their gut tells them that things are not good and the outcome is going to end up not being good, and nothing is ever said about it, they're putting themselves in grave danger. If no one speaks up and the outcome is bad, the survivors may live a life full of regret for having not spoken up. The consequences are too great to remain silent. Having a discussion in advance sets the stage so when someone speaks up at an emergency scene, everyone understands it is in the interest of everyone's safety. You may wish to check out Situational Awareness Matters Volume 1, where I wrote a chapter about the 5-step assertive statement process. Discussing this process in advance gives a responder a way to express concerns without the fear of consequence. Avoid blind trust by ensuring that your personal situational awareness is strong based on the clues and cues you capture at the incident, not based on the actions or behaviors or situational awareness of others. If you see peers behaving in ways that are inconsistent with what you feel is safe, have the courage to speak up. Courage is doing the right thing for the right reason at the right time. Courage is not blindly following peers into situations that are inappropriate or excessively risky. Since 2007, SA Matters instructors have helped more than 1,200 organizations and 87,000 individuals improve high-risk decision-making, including first responders, industrial workers, military personnel, business leaders, medical professionals, utility workers, highway workers, aviation workers, oil refinery operators, and more. If you or someone you care about works in a high-risk, high-consequence, decision-making environment, then we are here to help to improve their safety and survival, and to help them accomplish the most important mission of all, and that is to go home to the ones who love them. Since the start of the pandemic, I have had some amazing opportunities to present programs on a virtual platform to groups ranging in size from 6 to 400, with recorded playbacks being viewed over 22,000 times. Here's hoping the new year and the introduction of the COVID vaccine will reduce the number of cases and return us back to some form of normalcy for live, in-person training. As you will see from this upcoming list of events, things are looking up. On January 20th, I'll be presenting a virtual Flawed Situational Awareness program for the Maritime Fire Chiefs Association in Canada. On January 21, I'll be presenting, hopefully live and in person, a situational awareness program for the Utah Fire Chiefs Association in Salt Lake City. On February 2, I'll be facilitating the Minnesota Virtual Training Series. This particular segment features Kit Welchland talking about how to deal with difficult people. On February 6th and 7th, I'll be presenting, hopefully, live and in person, 3 situational awareness programs at the Missouri Winter Fire School in Columbia, Missouri. February 8th and 10th, I'll be presenting, hopefully live, 3 in-person situational awareness programs for the Spring Fire Department in Spring, Texas. On February 17th, I'll be facilitating the Minnesota Virtual Training Series, this time featuring Dr. Chad Weinstein, talking about fire service leadership from the inside out. On March 4th, I'll be facilitating another Minnesota Virtual Training Series, this time featuring Brian Ward, talking about barn boss leadership. On March 8th, I'll be presenting, hopefully live and in person, a situational awareness program at the National Electrical Testing Association's Power Test Conference in Orlando, Florida. On March 16th, I'll be facilitating the Minnesota Virtual Training Series, this time featuring Fire Chief Alan Lewis, talking about recruitment and retention. And on March 23 through 25, I'll be presenting, hopefully live and in person, three situational awareness programs for the Anchorage Fire Department in Anchorage, Alaska. Thank you to the organizations that have allowed me to offer your members virtual training, and a special appreciation and thanks to the 46 agencies who have postponed programs in 2020 and are patiently waiting to have your programs rescheduled. If you're interested in hosting a virtual program or a live event, just click on the Contact Us tab at the top of the SA Matters homepage, and I will give you a call. Finally, remember to check out the show notes for how to subscribe to our newsletter and how to follow us on social media. There we share ideas about how to improve situational awareness, how to make better decisions under stress, and how to improve the skills of critical thinking and resilient problem solving. Well, that's it. Episode 356 of the Situational Awareness Matters show is complete. Thank you for sharing some of your valuable time with me today. I really appreciate your support of the SA Matters mission. Be safe out there, and may the peace of the Lord and strong situational awareness be with you always.
You've been listening to the Situational Awareness Matters show with Dr. Richard Gasaway. If you're interested in learning more about situational awareness, human factors, and decision-making under stress, visit his website, samatters.com. If you're interested in booking Dr. Gasaway for a program, or if you would like to be a guest on his show, click the Contact Us tab at the top of the homepage.